You ever find yourself at a port just staring at one of those massive cargo ships? They're basically floating cities made of steel, the real unsung heroes of our global economy. But how do they actually, work? All right, let's dive in and take one of these giants apart, piece by piece. First things first, we've got to tackle the big, kind of mind-bending question. A tiny steel bolt, right? You toss it in the water, it sinks straight to the bottom, no question. So how in the world does a 200,000-ton vessel made of the exact same stuff just float there like it's no big deal? And check this out. Seeing a ship out of the water like this, it really drives the point home, right? It's a solid, unbelievably heavy object. The secret isn't some kind of magic material. It's all about the way that material is shaped. And that shape, it's all about one word: buoyancy. See, the hull creates this gigantic, hollow space inside. This shape pushes aside or displaces a massive amount of water. And physics tells us that the water pushes back with an equal force. So, by spreading its enormous weight over a huge area that's mostly filled with air, the ship's average density becomes less than the water it's sitting in. It's that simple and honestly, that brilliant. Okay, so we've got the why it floats part down. Now, before we go any deeper, we've got to learn to speak the language of the ship. Every one of these vessels has its own blueprint and a special vocabulary that the crew uses every day, so let's decode it.
This is super simple but absolutely crucial. The front is the bow, the back is the stern. Now, if you're standing on the deck facing the bow, your left is port, always marked with a red light at night, and your right is starboard, which gets the green light. It's a universal system, so there's never any confusion no matter where you are in the world.
Now, when we talk about a ship's size, you probably think we're just talking about how long it is, right? Well, in the maritime world, it's not that simple. It's all about something called tonnage. And here's the tricky part. Tonnage doesn't always mean weight. A lot of the time, it's actually about volume.
First up, we've got gross tonnage, or GT. And let me tell you, the name is super misleading because it has nothing to do with weight. It's a measure of the ship's total internal volume. We're talking every single enclosed space. Think of it as the ship's official size for all the paperwork. It helps regulators figure out which safety rules apply or how much the registration fees are going to be.
Then there's net tonnage, or NT. Now, this is the one that's all about the money. This measures only the volume of the spaces that can actually earn money, so the cargo holds. This number basically represents the ship's earning potential, and because of that, it's what ports and canals use to figure out how much to charge for their services.
And finally, we get to the one that is actually about weight. Deadweight tonnage, or DWT. This is the big one for the people planning the voyage. It's the maximum total weight a ship can safely carry. And that includes everything that isn't a permanent part of the ship itself. The cargo, the fuel, fresh water, supplies, and even the crew. It's the ship's true carrying capacity.
So, okay, that brings up a really practical question, doesn't it? With all this cargo being loaded and all these different measurements, how does the crew know for sure, just by looking, that the ship is loaded safely and isn't about to tip over or sink?
And the answer is this amazing, ingeniously simple thing right here. It's called the Plimsoll line. This little set of markings painted on the side of the hull is one of the most important safety features on the entire ship. It's a dead simple visual guide that tells the crew exactly how deep the ship can safely sit in the water. No guesswork needed. So you're probably looking at that and going, whoa, why so many different lines? Well, it's because not all water is created equal. Fresh water is less dense than salt water, and cold water is denser than warm water. Denser water provides more lift, more buoyancy. So a ship can be loaded down more heavily in the icy winter North Atlantic than it can in a warm freshwater river in the tropics. Each line is a clear safety limit for different conditions, making sure the ship is never, ever overloaded.
All right, so we know how they float, we know how they're loaded safely, but to really get it, you gotta go inside. We've seen the ship's body, now let's check out its heart and its brain.
Welcome to the heart of the beast, the engine room. This place is just a massive, cavernous space filled with incredible power and mind-boggling complexity. Down here, the engineering department, led by the chief engineer, runs the whole show. Not just the gigantic main engine, but the power generators, the water purifiers, the plumbing, literally everything that keeps the ship alive.
And if that noisy, powerful engine room is the heart, then this is the calm, cool brain. The navigation bridge. This is the command center for the entire operation. From up here, the captain and the deck department navigate,
They communicate with the rest of the world, and they oversee all the cargo operations. This is where every critical decision gets made.
But, all this amazing tech, all this incredible machinery, it's just a hunk of metal without the crew. So let's talk about the people who keep this floating city running around the clock 24/7.
See, a ship's crew isn't just one big group of people. It's a highly organized structure, like a well-oiled machine, made up of 3 distinct departments that have to work together perfectly.
And sitting right at the top of that pyramid is the master, or, as we all know them, the captain. The captain has the ultimate legal authority and responsibility for everything and everyone on board. The safety of the crew, the ship, the cargo, the buck stops with them, literally. And reporting to the captain, you've got those 3 main departments. There's the deck department, run by the chief officer, handling everything from steering the ship to managing the cargo. You have the engine department, led by the chief engineer, keeping all that machinery humming. And just as important, you have the saloon or stewards department, which handles all the cooking, cleaning, and general welfare of the entire crew.
So let's recap. We've got the physics, the ship's language, the heart and brain, and the crew that makes it all run. But what's it all for? Why do these giants constantly roam the seas? Let's zoom out and look at their global mission.
Well, these ships basically operate in 2 different ways. Think of it like public transport. You have liner shipping, which is like your city bus. It runs on a fixed route and a fixed schedule, mostly carrying those familiar containers filled with all kinds of finished goods. Then you have tramp shipping, which is more like a taxi. It has no set route, it just goes wherever it's needed to pick up a specific load, usually huge quantities of raw materials like oil, grain, or iron ore.
And these 2 models, liner and tramp, they work together to form the absolute backbone of our global supply chain. They're the essential moving links that connect everything. They take the raw materials to the factories, and then they take the finished products from those factories to stores near you. Without them, the world economy as we know it would just stop.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Just look around the room you're in right now. Your phone, your coffee cup, the clothes you're wearing, probably even the food in your fridge. Something like 90% of everything we own and use spent some time on a ship. It's this vast, invisible network that built our modern world, which really makes you wonder, what part of your life didn't travel the seas to get to you?